Hello, not to jump scare, but I'm back with another camp special video where I explain things, and what I'm explaining today is Sylas items. I get the question of, is A item better than B item, or is C item more viable now after the recent item buffs? So this video is about explaining that. Okay, so this tier list will be for the most part about mid lane, but I will be talking about how good the item is on other roles. Basically any other role than ADC. For those that don't know, I also got 1 KLP yesterday playing Sylas. Other than when I get filled, so yeah, the worst games I can't really help anything. Which is huge, so I want to make this video to celebrate that as well, and I guess it kind of goes as a short intro. But yeah, okay, the actual part of the video. Well, I'm just gonna go say it. Rocket Belt is S+ tier. It gives you everything you want on Sylas, and it's more like there's not just a better item right now, and there just won't be unless Everfrost is back, because it gives you everything you want other than mana, but there is no item that gives you mana and all the stats Rocket gives. Cosmic also gives I'll touch on it a bit later, but it gives the same stats, but it's more expensive and it's just versus Spike really. But it gives you ability haste, it gives you HP, and it gives you AP. So the three core things Sylas really needs, which you get all this, and a dash. A dash is actually nice. I hear people saying like the dash Sylas doesn't need a dash, and technically it's not like do or die thing. You don't need to have it, although I can't say how many scenarios I lived or like I got on an ADC just because of the dash, or dodging a Fizz ult or something with the dash, or like any Akali, anything like important CC. Not CC, I guess CC too, really, Morgana Q, anything. But you can dodge so many things with just the dash even, and a lot of people don't know this, but it is an auto attack reset. While that doesn't really matter too much on Sylas, rather than maybe like Echo, they still can help, where like they're literally 1 HP or something and they live, but utilizing that is also important. But yeah, it's been always good for like, I don't know how many seasons now. I think ever since Everfrost was gone, the Rocket is just a new item, and it will probably be for unless they introduce more items. It did get changed recently, and I will say, I think the changes are nice. I mean, obviously they're net positive. You can kind of feel the HP loss. 50 is really nothing too big, although your W scales with HP, so that kind of is sad. But again, like 10 AP, and especially the 5 ability haste, you can really feel how valuable that is. So it is really good. Now it does more damage, so you can even snowball harder, which is the best part. I think I was gonna say, like, I think it benefits Conq more just because it uses ability haste more, but Electrocute uses the AP better just for the one-shot power. So it kind of goes well with either playstyles. I think Conq more for the most part, because technically you do take Conq for the damage part. Like, its main case is the damage part. But it just doesn't do it in early game. It does it more in mid game, and so you can side lane better. In team fight too, but all that really kind of depends. All right, well, I think I talked about the main item we're gonna have. The second is, well, let's just do Cosmic. I think Cosmic is good. It's kind of hard to really say, but I think it is A. So it is really good with Conq. I think that's obvious. I wouldn't really build this on Electrocute. It used to be okay, and it is like not the worst. It's just like you're not really utilizing it if you're doing Electrocute. Like, it's just definitely not best in slot item if you have Electrocute. And that is because, I mean, it just doesn't do enough damage. When you build this item, it works more when you're behind, just because this is more like utility item and less like I want to carry item. You're not really looking to carry unless every enemy team is really behind, and you can just like kind of face roll them, because I mean, you just get ability haste, it's good utility, more HP, you get more movement speed from just flat percent and the passive of it, so that's really nice. It's just when you're ahead and enemies also ahead, it kind of feels underwhelming. But if you have Conqueror in, I think, right comps, it is really good. I wouldn't put it in S tier because like I don't build it every game, nor even like always, even if I'm Conqueror, because there are better items, which I'm gonna explain. But A tier sounds pretty fair to me. Next, I'm just gonna go randomly, honestly. Whatever catches my eye also works. Okay, so Morello. I mean, I almost want to put this in D tier, but like, it's not bad. It's just like, if you need to build Grievous Wounds, the game's probably not looking good. Sylas should really not be the champions that should be building Grievous Wound. Your first 3 items really is where you spike, and after that it's kind of whatever until you get Death Cap, or unless your 3rd item is Death Cap. But your first 3 items really matter, and I mean, this item you're not supposed to literally even build before 6th item. Like that's literally what's designed for. This is supposed to be last slot. But I'm talking about Grievous Wounds itself. There's really like not even a matchup you would do unless you see like Warwick mid or something. But like it's very specific. Any other mid laner ever uses healing? Yeah, I can't really think of it. I'm trying to think. But even then, in a team fight, you should not get this because enemy top laner heals or enemy jungler heals. It shouldn't be your duty. There should be someone else in the team you can, because your passive is AoE, but you're not really getting on anyone, like ever, really. So, and you don't really have AoE spells other than if you get like a good ult. So you're really single-target and you're just gonna be on that one person, so you can't spread it well. But yeah, so I think that feels fair. If anything, I could do AD, but like it's still an AP item, like it's okay. So next one. No, not that one yet. Okay, Riftmaker. I think it is good. It was situational. I think this item is overbuilt, but it is not bad. This item is very, very situational though. I don't think people understand it. Like, I see so many Sylases. It actually just is funny in a way. So many Sylases that build this item, just whenever they conquer an enemy's like 5 squishies. Like, it's just, even like in GM Challenger, where like people just don't know how Sylas itemization works at all, and it's just like the freest LP ever. But Riftmaker is only good if enemy is like unironically just like or bruisers, or like 3+, and ADC like does no damage, or it's like AP. Because DPS kind of fucks this item, like if enemy has DPS, because you can't survive it. It is good healing, the build path is not bad, and you definitely, this is an item, I wouldn't even say second, this is only a 3rd slot item. Because of the passive, it gives you more AP if you have more HP. So like, these 3 items, like this order, 1, 2, 3, is actually not bad, but it's also not best in slot. I think like there is scenarios where you play against Galley or something, or like any top lane Xante mid or something, where I could see this item. But otherwise, if you're playing against a mage or something, I just don't never ever see this. In top lane, I could definitely see this if you're like going a raw Cosmic into Rift build, or like even raw Rift. I think that is actually very decent. But that is why it's situational. Because you will, for the most part, like I really can't think of last time I built this item. It's just not that good. It's just situational. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to mention. So, Nasher, I mean, it's kind of just a meme. I don't know why I even put it here, but it's D tier. I'm sure there's at least one person in there like asking me, is Nasher's good on Sylas? It's not really. I mean, it's like not the trollest thing ever. But if you're looking at every item in here, it's definitely really, really bad. It just doesn't work on Sylas well. Attack speed is very, very useless. I actually used to see this question a lot, where like people say like build Navori. Like Navori in a way kind of makes sense because you get your abilities faster if you auto attack. But attack speed in general is very useless because your passive gives it already. So you're kind of literally wasting a stat, and like it doesn't even out damage like any of the items. I think A+. So it's just very, very bad. It also gives you an HP. But while I'm on that, I'll also just talk about it. Alright, this is probably the item everyone was curious about the most. I would say it is A. It is not S though. So I think it is not bad. An item always has a good win rate. Even like before it got changed. I think it's a lot more possible to build it now. But honestly, the biggest part is still build path. Like, you don't have alternate. Alternate is so good. No, I lied. That's not even the biggest part. Biggest part is just it doesn't do enough damage. It only out damages, even if probably not, honestly. I don't really know the real math, but I know just by testing both items in games where it would have done like the same thing. It gets out damaged by one item that I'll talk about. I mean, I think everyone can just say what it is right now, but by like almost always. So it's just like literally a worse item. It is nice for split pushing power 1v1. It's better, but like I tried it with Conq and it feels more real with Conq because this item is really not a team fighting item, but a solo split pushing item. And like split pushing is okay at Sylas, and you can do it, but it's just a very, very unlikely. You'd rather split push than fight with your team. And if you're gonna fight with your team, most items are better. But again, it's very doable. If you want to build a second item, I think it's very real. I will say this item is really good on jungle Sylas, but jungle Sylas is just not that good. But when you get this, your clear becomes really, really fast. In top lane, you wouldn't ever build this. In mid lane, like I said, second item is fine. And people are gonna ask me, if is it viable first item? Can you do like Storm Surge and then Lich Bane? I think it's possible. However, if the game goes 25 minutes plus, it's auto lose because you're insanely squishy. Yeah, just that. Your W literally scales with HP, which is this, by the way, this or this even. But like, if you're doing Electrocute, you're not really gonna build these. So Rocket, like, it spikes good, but like for playing against like a Hwei, you really need the one shot. And if the Hwei is good, he's just gonna poke you, and if one poke, you're literally kind of out because he's gonna one shot you during next rotation. That's it. Rocket makes you be able to get onto a Hwei faster, easier, and you can at least take one Q or two. Like, you can live at least. And you still have enough damage to really one-shot a Hwei. So like, it's just such a needless thing. It was more possible before, but Sylas AP ratios got gutted by like 40%, if not more. The one change that they did on him a while back, and they added HP ratio. So after that, it's definitely not viable. Or before, it was actually one of the, like, it was best in slot almost. Lich Bane and Storm Surge were actually one of my favorite items, just because how fast you were. It also gave like 8% each move speed. But yeah, okay, maybe a meme item, but Heartsteel. Honestly, I tried it only here and there because I mean, it literally is a meme item. It's just going to. It's okay, like buildable if you're top lane only. I would never do it in jungle or mid lane. But it just doesn't really do what you want. Like, it does okay damage, you heal. Oh, but okay, what then? If enemy has any percent HP damage, not even honestly, they will run you over. You literally don't deal any damage. Like, so you still have insane AP scalings as a champion. They did take 40%. Your ult scales still, for the most part, with AP. And your whole kit has, I forgot the whole number, but like, it's almost 200%. If you include both Q1 and Q2, it's more than 200% AP ratios. So you're building this just because your W has 10% AP ratio. With healing, not even damage. So yeah, I think I'll just end it there. Banshees. So Banshee is actually good, but situational, but it's like not enough situational. So it's going to be. Like, it's very, very situational in the sense of it's not even situational at that point. It is good if you really care about like going in and they have so much like just like fiddlesticks or something. Like, they have AP and like important spells that do fuck you over before you can go in. So this item is really good if, especially when you're ahead, so you can keep going in and do the same thing. But some games, like, even if you're ahead, you just can't go in because they CC you. They have like point and click CC. So this item is really just countering that. Not really too much to talk about it. It's really just, it's only used literally that right now. But what I'll talk about is the better counterpart, Zhonya. Honestly, I would almost put this above. Left to right kinda matters, but I don't think it will matter in here. I could kinda like this. All right, I would put it over Rocket maybe. But Zhonya is actually the most core item on Sylas you probably can get, other than Rocket Build. The item is really nice. Some games even you want to go with the second item, especially with Conqueror. With Electrocute, you wouldn't do it unless like you're literally 10-0 before second item. But this item is really good just because of the status. There is so many games, like literally this item has solo-handedly won the game. Just because the status. You go into a fight, you create so much space, and then you just press the Zhonya button. GG. The fight is won. That's it. You literally like take Hecarim ult, E in, and then Hecarim ult the whole fight, and then you can just like buy so much time for your teammates. It works better in high elo, I will say, because it's more like your team needs to play around in a way. Because you will create this space. Even saying that, it's really good on 1v1s too. Against like Zed, any AD champ, really, I would probably build it second with Conqueror, just because it's even a really good dealing item. After the status, all your cooldowns are gonna come back, so you have another rotation of your whole rotation. So it's really good. Like, even Cosmic doesn't really give you that. Cosmic doesn't reduce your whole cooldowns like by 3 seconds. I guess 2 really, but it's just really good. Just because of that, it's definitely S plus tier, like not even a question. It doesn't give you ability haste anymore, kind of sad, but it's still the status. As long as the status exists, it's gonna be a really good item. The Sylas just doesn't have any other like go back items. I mean, like anything in his kit. He literally has like 2 dashes if you're being generous, 3 maybe like if you're lucky with a good ult, but there is only go in abilities. So you're only going in and you don't have any get out options. You're not like a Fizz who can just E back or just like Q out of a situation. You're literally in and that's it. You might die, you might not die, but you're going in and that's it. And which Zonya helps a lot with when you're in very bad situations. But yeah, it's like I preach this item a lot. It's really, really good. So another, all right, this item. God, how much I hate this item. I think it was actually okay when they buffed it. Like, I don't know, last patch I think it was. Well, last patch they nerfed it. So the last patch before. Right now, after the nerfs, it's really bad. And honestly, any Sylas that does it against me is the freest LP. When I play Galio and they build this, it's literally the biggest smile on my face. It's just literally, it's a free LP printing machine for enemy team. But I am kinda leaning to put this on situational because it is still not the worst when you're going on games where you know the matchup is really bad or enemies focusing you really hard, like camping you with support, jungle. You just know you're getting fucked over by a lot of things, and with a lot of things, you know this game you just have to farm up and that's it. Some situation could be like anything electrocute, like I don't know, Aurora, stuff like that, but even then for the most part I would suggest to go this. Honestly, thinking that, I think I will get it to be. Even situationally, it's just very, very sus. Catalyst is nice, but it's just you can't sit on Catalyst. You're not like other champions who can just do that. So Sylas really needs, again, like I said, those 3 items really fast. And if you sit on Catalyst, that's a 1.3k gold just down the drain. It is nice in lane, but like you're not really playing to stabilize lane. You're Sylas. If you want that full play Cassidy, you're not in the right channel. But yeah, you need to play aggressive as Sylas. Well, that's the best case. But in games where like you do know you need to play passive because there's no other option, I think Pro is not bad. But again, I'll say B because like it's way too overbuilt. At least pros are not building anymore, but like this item single-handedly is keeping Sylas on D tier, which I don't know if it's funny or not, but like I don't know, just it's funny. Like just stop building this item every time. It has good cases, but like 90% of the time it's not. All right, Hello Radiance. Funny actually, but I think it's actually like C tier. I saw like Anahuan used to, at least when he was in Korea server, build this a lot against like Galio. I think it's mainly troll. Well, it's like really troll. There's no like silver lining, but like it's definitely better than you think. It still gives you wave clear. You're just a verse Galio, which like I guess that's all right. Nothing really you can do anything. Well, there's one thing which I'll talk about. Really, you're only building against Galio. There's not many other situations you build it, but even then, like I'm not gonna build it. I really built it only once, and it's really just not good. It's just better than these two, but it's not that bad as D tier. Like you're not really hard griefing the game. All right, we'll also address another elephant in the room: Shojin. Where to put Shojin? This is kind of a hard one. It sounds funny, but it's actually not that bad. If you're being real though, honestly, it is like top C tier. So I wouldn't really build this item, though you kind of can if you're full AP. But this item goes well with the shooting AD Sylas, which is not too troll. But as I said, this is mainly mid lane, and in mid lane you really don't want to do AD Sylas. Abilities matter way too much in mid lane. But in top lane, when you can do like Grasp, AD, this is actually not bad. Like AD Sylas still not really, it hasn't died. I have videos on it, but it is very possible. You're not hard trolling your game. It is situational though. When you can abuse Grasp, AD Sylas is good, like I said. And second item, Shojin, is actually very good. At that point, I would probably go like Rift and go AP again. If you do full AD, I tested this in customs against someone just to see 1v1 power. So for 1v1 power, so you did Sundered Sky. Oh, actually, this would be third item. Yeah, this is kind of similar to Rift, honestly, but like Even if you're doing AD Sylas, I probably would do Rift, but it's not too bad. But AD Sylas does Manimune second, so that's why I'm gonna mention soon. But that's why it will be third item. So first two items would be Sundered Sky, then the Manimune. But like, it's not too bad. It still gives you a lot of ability haste, which is huge, so you can get more passive stacks, which is where the AD part comes in. That's your only AD ratios. Maybe ult as well, if it's like Wukong or something. Yeah, it's doable. It's just not really better than AP stuff. Yeah, like I mentioned, I did a test, but if you do 2-3 AD items, then go to AP items, your 1v1 power is better. If you do full AD, then your 1v1 power is actually worse. In teamfights, it's nice, kind of okay, because like bruiser items give you HP and also AD. There's not a lot of AP items. You can like really go Rylai's, which is not here, but just don't build it. It's really even worse. Okay, it's not worse than these two, but you get the idea. It's just not good. All right, next one. Since I'm talking about AD items, Manimune. Manimune is kind of hard to say. So like, I will actually say B tier. It's kind of funny sounding, but when you get to stack it, it's actually not bad. It's just a very, very... You can only do it with AD Sylas. And that only goes to top lane, which is also not mid lane, which is this tier list. But again, like, it's not too bad. There's not too much to explain this. It's just like your AD ratios on passive is really good, so this works well. And you need the mana really to clear waves, or to even have extended fights, so it is nice. But if you're doing any AP build, you will not build this. Another tier item is... I forgot its name. I'm sure it'll come back, but you know the item. It is not bad. I did this summon PB like a long time ago. It did get nerfed a lot until then. I would say it's better. It's just like in top lane, but more realistic than Manimune in mid lane. It just does no damage, but you do get insane shield value because you can proc it a lot. But yeah, I wouldn't really have it more than A. Even it's not even really situational. It's just okay. I'll say Roya still goes top of this though. Or you could go like Heartsteel this if you really just want to have a fun game, or even Radiant. But as it stands, with Sylas, you don't really want to be a tank unless you want to just for fun a game, but damage matters too much. Well, that said, so this Spirit Visage, oh, it would actually go to situational. It's not very likely I build this item really, but because that's why games don't go long enough. If you have like, I don't know, even 4th, 5th item, over the last item, 4th, 5th, 6th item, this is actually not bad. But you wouldn't go in your first 3 core items. The healing is actually really nice. Shielding you don't really use too much unless you have like Lulu on your team, and if you're against a lot of AP, this is actually very, very decent. Especially if you're going to Conquer. If it's Electrocute, I would never go this. Electrocute, you only want to go damage, whatever has AP. It's pretty basic. It just gives you more healing and you have MR, so it's pretty actually good. So one item that did change, Bloodletters. I did try it one game against Kusante mid, and I haven't really tried it against Galio because I haven't gotten the opportunity. But I did it before the buffs, and it was okay. I think it's actually not bad, and the buff version is definitely a lot better. But it is definitely a situational item. If anything, I would put top of A. The new stats, the buffed version is actually really, really nice. It is still more expensive, and as first item, it is awkward. But generally, everything your versus that you want to build this against, go MR first item. So you kind of want to match it by building it first item. Like Kusante, Galio, they will go MR first item. So by that time you have 2 items, game's probably decided in a direction at least. So you're probably going to go this first item, and that is okay. It just works better as second item. Even then, like, it's okay. It's really like not too crazy of an item. You can proc it insanely fast. That is one thing about Sylas. I think on average, Sylas procs the passive to fully like faster. Against mages, you're just never gonna build it, and that's really mid lane. Why would you ever build this if you have like these items? It just kind of doesn't make sense. In top lane, I can definitely see it more. You can probably do like even Bloodletters first. I could kind of see it. I haven't tested that myself, but I could kind of see Bloodletters first. It could be real. As it stands, it is still a very, very situational item, and you shouldn't build it every game, especially the squishies. Okay, Liandry's. It get nerfed, but actually, I think it was like last season, Raw Liandry was actually one of my favorite builds in top lane. It was actually so good. It is again situational, but again, with Raw, we come to a point where it's like, even in that situation, you shouldn't really build it if you have better options like these. But I would say I think it's better than Raw. I think it is good. It's just funny, like no ability haste, but if you get to like 3 items with it, you shouldn't build this first, or even really second. 3 items. Like if you have Raw, Rift, Liandry, you should literally 1v1 almost any top lane champion. Like a Renekton ult with this, you're literally Thanos, insanely strong. You're gonna cook everyone, you're gonna have insane healing. Just no ability haste, but I mean, it doesn't matter if you're that tanky and your W heals a lot because you're building full HP. But yeah, you're insanely strong. It's just very not likely that you're gonna get that scenario, or you're gonna have the game not end on you before you even build the item. Next, Malignance. Funny that I actually tried it not a lot. I think it is doable, it's just not good. I would say it's probably like in here. It's really not good. I mean, if you have Malphite ult and you just want to use it, I can kind of see it. Just for that, maybe I can do this, but it's still very situational. You're like never ever building it other than this. I don't know. I don't think there's only one person I got this question from over and over again, but no one ever asked about Malignance again. So I don't think anyone is gonna build it anyway, and you shouldn't build it. Ludens. I actually kind of used to do. I literally had I think it was season 14, start of it maybe, where I did like Qmax Ludens. And I got to, just with that, I got to like GM. It was kind of funny. But Sylas did change a lot from then, and items have changed, and meta has changed. Now it is like, it's definitely better than Malignance. I would say like top of B tier. It is definitely troll. No, it's not top, but I would say like here. It's definitely troll, don't get me wrong. And you shouldn't really build it. But for a mana one-shot item with Electrocute, this is probably your best option. No, not even probably, this is your best option. If you want to play one-shot with mana because you don't want to manage mana, or you're really bad at it, this is actually not bad. It works well with Qmax just because you can poke, and poke actually does a lot of damage. But it just, again, with all this no HP builds, you scale really bad to 2 items. Especially this item just doesn't scale well. It gets outscaled out of 2-3 items. So you have to get early leads or you're kind of irrelevant. Next up is Abyssal Mask. Abyssal Mask. Where to put? It is definitely situational. I think it goes to A. It kind of is like Spirit Visage, honestly. It is games where you want to be tanky, again, Conqueror, and they have a lot of P-champs and MR2, honestly. It counters kind of MR in that sense. But you have also AP champions. It's kind of like Bloodletters, but just worse, honestly. Because like Bloodletters also does it on, I guess, one target more like, but I wouldn't really see a scenario where you this other than Bloodletters. Like I think Bloodletters, for the most part, you're gonna build more, unless they have literally like 4 AP, which can happen. Again, very situational scenario though. Void. So Void, I'm tempted to put it either S plus or A, but I think it goes to A. I think it's a really good item. It's just not really core. It is good, pure AP, and it's just like a really good item. They it's more like, for stats wise, I think it's one of the better items. And it's just really good pure stats, and you should build it if they have a lot of MR, for sure. Like it's kind of a no-brainer. Yeah, I mean, it's just a stat stick, and it's really good. I would build it probably like 4th item, and sometimes that's too late. It kind of depends what kind of build you have, but like, you really don't want to miss Zonias. But like, if they really are building a lot of MR early, I would probably build this 3rd item. 2nd, definitely not. 3rd, it's okay. 4th is probably best. You can like skip Death Cap and go this, then go Death Cap. But it's really good. I would probably put like in here. No, honestly, like this. Yep. Next. All right, let's talk about a Shadow Flame. Definitely goes S plus tier. It's literally no-brainer. Shadow Flame, I was gonna, as mentioned, Lich Bane. So these 2 items really go hand in hand on like what you should build. But I tested it, just like from game experience I had. Shadow Flame is just gonna out damage Lich Bane always. And like, yeah, it's more expensive, it should, right? But like, even then, Lich Bane, let's say you want to really one-shot this Nami because you hit E2. And Lich Bane, what it's gonna happen is she's gonna flash after it because you didn't one-shot her. And she's gonna bubble you or like whatever ults you away. But Shadow Flame can actually just one-shot her and done. And you don't need 2nd rotation anyway if you're playing Electrocute, because you want to one-shot someone in 1 rotation if possible. And Shadow Flame at least makes it more possible. It's also just better a teamfight item, just because like if you're in team fighting, you have other teammates, they do damage. If enemy's low, well, you do more damage. Lich Bane is better 1v1, but even then, against Squishies, Shadow Flame, I think, still does more. But it's just better item. Just stats-wise, everything-wise, just better build path. Like, such a good build path, actually. S plus the items literally just electric. I'm literally just explaining the electric build path right now. 1, 2, 3. That's what you build on electric. Even some Conqueror games, honestly. If you want damage, this is Conqueror angle. From this is even Conqueror. Rocket, Zonia, Shadow. It's literally a build I do a lot, actually. It's not bad, but yeah, it's really good. Shadow Flame is insanely, I wouldn't say underrated at this point, but a lot of people prefer other options, so maybe a lot underrated. It's really, really OP. It's like a one item that hasn't really got nerfed, even though it got escaped like some item nerfs we had. But yeah, all right. Storm Surge, while we're on the topic. So Storm Surge is definitely not bad, and I haven't really tried it, the buff version, but I think it's just cost a decrease, which is nice. A big benefit of this, like I said in my Google Doc guide, is it's really cheap, so you can buy it and rush Zonias, just because Zonias is that big of a core item. But, I think it is better than Lich. I think I honestly need to try this item more, because like, Electrocute just wants to kill one person, right? What does Storm Surge do? Kill that one person. You have the benefit of when you go Shadow, it also works well against tanky targets in team fights, because I mean the crit just does so much more damage that you can even shred tank targets, but Storm Surge cannot. So it is very good against like mages or a lot of squishies, but I would say just Shadow Flame is a lot more reliable. Shadow is just like both of these but better, kinda. These are just like very specific. It's like almost branches out to Shadow Flame, but they do their own thing. This is better if you just want to kill that Hui on side lane or like team fight. This is better if you want to side lane and push towers. This just does not both of those better, but it's just more flexible and just a good item. It just does kind of both. Not really split, but just you get the idea. All right. So next up, while we're on the topic, Sundered Sky. Funnily enough, okay, no troll. I think it's actually situationally really good. Again, I would think all AD Sylas goes well with Grasp, which goes well in top lane and then mid lane, so another situational wise, but it's actually really good in team fights. Like, it's actually one of the, like, it's best in slot actually when it's first item and you know you want to like fight or take short trades, which happens in top lane. Almost I would say support, but support really, I haven't tried this, could maybe work, but in team fights where you can practice multiple times, it feels so nice because you're alive for so long and you can buy so much time for your team. It does still okay damage, it just doesn't do as much as AP really, at least first item compared to other stuff. The healing is just really nice, and it's like the most doable AD item for Sylas. Not gonna go on crit items here, it's way too niche to mention here, but there's some okay crit ones. Still, as AD items go, this is gonna be your best item. I wouldn't say it's better than these two though, as traditionally it can be better than these. Funny, but I think it's actually not bad. So this, I said I wasn't gonna really do this, but it's just a funny thing. It's just really not good. I did it like once. It's probably worse than even Heartsteel. It's just the slow really does nothing. Your Q literally slows more, and they don't stack. So your Q slows more, it does nothing. Otherwise, your other abilities do, but like it's really not good. I don't think I need to really explain the item. Blackfire Torch. So there is a build. I think someone did Blackfire Torch into Riftmaker, which is a little funny. In top lane, which is situational, I don't think it's bad. I did say Ludens was the most viable man item, but if you're in top lane, I really wouldn't do this in mid lane. Maybe against like very specific gallery stuff, but even then you're trolling by not building, you know, these. I mean, like this, Bloodmail. Like, it is doable. It does what it does. You can, if you get the poke with Qmax, I think is really decent. I wouldn't really do Riftmaker second, because I mean Riftmaker second with no HP item I think is a little troll. If you really want just a passive, probably the Andre is even better. I think I would just do Cosmic and call it a day. You're fast, you could do Q, but I think it's definitely not bad. Definitely Qmax and in top lane special. Death Cap. I mean, how I think about it is that, like, how often do I build these? Almost about every game. These items, sometimes I build it. These are very situational, I build it. These I probably never build it in high elo. This, I probably will build it, it's just I don't get there, you know? But like, if I do get there, it's definitely really good. Like, I feel like it's kind of just funny if I put it at the top of S tier. I think it's really good. You just very rarely get there because as Sylas, you want to end games as soon as possible before it hits 30 minutes. If it doesn't, or if you're really ahead, this is really good. All this, you can just do a good build. Even like Rocket, Zonia, then Deathcap has been a build for like a month or two, and like it's not nerfed, it's only buffed. They buffed the Deathcap too, so it's even better. Yeah, this is really good. This is like a almost 4 core right now here. Horizon. It did get changed and they're gonna buff it again, but it's just such another Sylas item, really. Second item, I haven't tried it, I will say, but even then, I think it's just these are better to build. I'm a little unclear on this. I think I could do more games on it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not doing anything better than what these do. These also have better build orders. Yeah, up to top of B. Honestly, not top, but like around here. It feels about right. I think it is a bit better than Luden's. But I can't say too much since I haven't really built it. And you probably shouldn't build it if you really want to carry with Sylas. Magi's, I mean, do I even really have to include this? But like, I think most people don't know this. I think it is actually not that good. Okay, the item is broken. But in high elo, as Sylas, you don't want to build it too much unless you're smurfing. And if I'm smurfing masters or even masters below, I will always build this. But if I'm not, I think it's too kind of risky. And I think this item is actually really good if you're behind. It's like, I think there's been a thing like a lot of people are saying, if you're behind, this item is actually really good. Just because if you can get ahead, the game's back. I mean, I can't really put it below A, really. I can't. But it's not S+. I think you can't do it because Sylas dies very easily. And if you're building this, a big thing actually, if you're building this before second item, you're griefing because you really want to build Zonias first before this item. Because the weakness this item has is because you can die and lose a lot of gold value, which you don't want that to happen. So Zonia helps you not die, at least tries. But if you just have this, if you just raw dog it with just like Rocket, I don't think it's that good. Unless like you're insanely ahead from like before even first item that everyone's like so behind, that you can build it. But again, it's kind of situational, but like not situational enough that it's that in this tier, if that makes sense. But yeah, I would put it there. Okay, so boots. Boots is kind of hard to rate because they're also always just situational. Like Lucids is very situational. I would only do the Conqueror and Conqueror only. Electrocute, I would never really do it. Just ability haste. But like as first item, it's actually really good. I would even like put it like here because you can actually rush it, and some matchups it's actually really good with Conqueror. Just because Conqueror is so ability haste hungry and not even that much AP hungry. It's more ability haste hungry because you want to get more rotations in, and your Conqueror is gonna give you enough healing and AP already. And it also lets you not get spaced against like range matchups. So I think it's really good with Conqueror. These are situational but still good, but I don't know if I would say. I mean, I think these are just good enough. If you have Conqueror again, even like Electrocute, just like Mercs is such a must if in some games where like enemy is, I don't know, double AP mid jungle, like Annie and Nidalee or something. So this item becomes really good. Or if Corki and Kindred jungle, this is like OP. But yeah, those are the situations. For the most part, they're very situational. I wouldn't build it like every game. This Zorks would still go A, I think. Like boots, you just have to kind of build it. It's like you don't build it because you kind of want to. Because like you have to build it. Like, it's good. But like I wouldn't rush this, but I rush this. But it's still situational because I would actually do this with Conqueror and Electrocute. So it's more consistent. I would like... It's hard to rate boots compared to real items, I will say. So I don't think I really will. It is definitely at least A. It's one of the better boots, even though it got nerfed. But again, like with Conqueror, for the most part, I will build this unless I'm really ahead and I know enemy team, I need a one shot. And if I need damage, I'm building this. If I need more rotations, I need this. You can kind of tell by just like looking at enemy team. But yeah. Alright, so... Symbiotic. It actually used to be... I would literally put this as plus tier if they didn't change the recall on the first thing. It actually was broken. Like, it was... My video was not clickbait. It was actually, like, broken. I would put it here. But right now, after that, I haven't really built it, and I don't think it's as good. I would really, like... I don't think it's that troll, though. You still get the recall later. Because just abusing the fast recall is such a huge thing with Sylas, especially if you can do, like, Ignite. Because you can cheat the whole laning. You can just do trade, go back, trade, go back. You just kill someone, go back. Like, literally, you can just do all that and just keep going back. I'll to like top of honestly C tier. It's still like, you still need to upgrade it, but I don't think it takes too long to upgrade it. And last item, Swifties. Where would I put Swifties? Yeah, I mean, it's not really going to be more than the I will not lie. It's just very symbiotic in team fights. The thing is, like, same with Phase Rush, you need more damage. You don't want to just get out, because it scales really bad. End game in team fight, you're in there. You literally don't have enough damage to kill person, but like, okay, you have Phase Rush, what now? You're just gonna run out? You can't. You're probably gonna get CC'd and it's GG. It's like, it's just not good enough. You want raw power as Sylas. You want stats, and this is not really it. Movement speed like is nice. It's just like you don't sacrifice Sorks or Lucids or even these two just to get this. It's just such a bad idea. Or even put it's worse than Leandry. But yeah, I think that is every item. Pretty sure that I don't think I missed. There's like support items, this and I don't know if I can find it right now. But the other one, there's 3: Celestial, this, and the AD one, which Pike gets. They're all good situationally, but support is its own game, which you can honestly do like still rocket build, kind of build like mid lane. It's the same thing for the most part, or you can do like whatever A tier. I probably wouldn't do anything below a situational tier though. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope that answered any of the questions you may have, or if you have more, you can ask me on Discord or even here YouTube. Yeah, love you guys. See you guys next time. Bye bye.